You adding him to the screen already? Huh? Hello again. It's Darren Mulqueen from Mulqueen Sewing Centers. We're here for day 2 of our live events. Today we have a lot of companies that we've dealt with at our Rusty Barn Sewing and Craft Show, which our very first guest will be Ed Raz Jr. from Daylight Company. We have Taylor from Anita Good Design coming up at noon. We have Trevor Conquergood coming up at 2 o'clock, and to round out today, we're going to learn about sewing furniture and how comfortable it can be to sew if you have the right cabinet. The Rusty Barn Sewing and Craft Show, this would be our 27th year, setting up 24 to 30 booths with product, everything on sale. It's our biggest sale of the year. And since that was delayed this year, we are offering you those specials here virtually. Daylight is always a staple at our booth, and if we could bring in Ed. Hey Ed, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you as well.
Yeah, one of our favorite things of the Rusty Barn Sewing and Craft Show is when on that Friday night of the show, we always go out to dinner and have a good time. We'll miss it.
Going out to that Mexican restaurant always is a good time.
But the nice thing is that you were able to help us out with some pricing, and everything that we're showing today will be on our website, mulqueen.com. The show pricing is listed there, so we will show you a little bit later how easy it is to find that location on our site. And my brother Ken is here. We're gonna have to sing a little bit later, so stay tuned for our Mulqueen debut of singing. As Ken, it's his birthday today.
Hey, happy birthday!
About later today. We're gonna be.
How you doing?
So,
all right,
Ed,
hanging in there, having a good day.
Being here, where are you at? First of all, are you in Florida? Or are you?
I'm in New Jersey.
So it's Jersey.
It's a damp, dreary, dark day here in New Jersey. All the rain outside. They're getting snow up north. I'm wishing it was snowing here, but you know, you get what you get.
You know, when it's dark out, it's nice to have lights, right? That's a good segue into. Right. Thank you, Ed. You take it away.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you, Mulqueen Group. Cool. So as Darren said, I'm Ed from the Daylight Company. I missed seeing you guys at Rusty Barn this year. It's always fun getting to see everybody coming through the hall, seeing all the new products and seeing what the Mulqueen's Group has to offer at their booths there. Like Darren said, for the last 5-6 years, we've been a part of their booth, helping you guys out at home with all of your lighting needs for your sewing and crafting rooms. So when Darren reached out to me and wanted me to come on and show you some of our lights that we have here for your home sewing centers, I was more than happy to jump on board and be a part of this awesome event with them. This whole past year has been just a whirlwind, and it has been tough to say, but it's been different. It's been weird, and we've been trying to make the best out of doing these virtual events. So we hope that everybody at home can get as much out of these events as you normally would being at a show with us. So that being said, we're going to get into some awesome LED lighting products that we have here behind me to help everybody at home light up their sewing room. Like Darren said, on a dark, dreary, rainy day, what's better than sitting at home with a nice, comfortable light, working on the projects and the tasks that you love to do at home. So I hope today I can light up your life just a little bit more, and you can take advantage of some of our awesome specials that we have going on mulqueensewing.com or mulqueen.com, I'm sorry. So before I get into the lights, I just want to talk about a couple real big things of why we need more lighting as we start to get older and when we are doing finer tasks. And a lot of that has to do with just natural aging of our eyes. You know, there's one thing called presbyopia, where the muscles in your eyes, they start to over time weaken or harden. And that's when you start having that frightful disease that we like to call long arm disease, where you're holding a piece of paper and you're trying to gauge how far away from your face you have to hold it just to see what that piece of paper says. So one way to kind of combat that is to go and get a pair of cheaters, but you're still also lacking on some other areas where even the cheaters can't help you out. So the best way to go and combat that is a good light. Now, I'm not talking just like your typical end table light that you can see back here behind me, this orangey light. They're good. They're going to give you some natural ambient light, but they're not a great direct task lighting. And that's one of the things we at Daylight do. We design and build task lighting for you to work on the projects at home. So we're not trying to light up your whole room, but we're trying to light up that task at hand. So when you're sitting at your sewing machine, if you're looking under the throw and it's getting a little bit dark, we have a light that's going to help you out with that. If you're at your cutting table and you can't see where the lines are that you need to cut, we have a light to help you with that. So we have lights that are going to light up your working area and hopefully light up your life as well. So let's get into it. So the first one here, I'm going to bring you closer so you all at home can see. The first one I have here is this guy and this guy right here. Now, if you've seen me at the Rusty Barn, you know what light I'm talking about. Darren had one on in front of his table as well, too. These are our slimline LED table lamps. They are our most popular lights that we manufacture at the Daylight Company for a couple of very simple reasons. They're very slim, they're low profile, they're not a big clunky light that's going to be in your way as you're sewing, as you're quilting, as you're reading, as you're doing handworking projects. You can even use them at your cutting table, at your ironing board. It's a very streamlined light that's going to give you a lot of good lighting directly focused on what you're working on. And a couple of really key features help to play in with that of the light. So you can see here and here, there's two goosenecks. So it has a double gooseneck that allows for you to be able to bend and maneuver the light whichever way you want it to go. Wherever you're going to leave that light is how it's going to stay for you. So it's a perfect light to be working at your sewing machine. Can you imagine having it down right here, right in front of your machine, and not being able to, not bumping your head into it, but also having that light directly focused on your sewing machine, on the throat, on the face, on the fabric that's being fed into the needle there. So it's going to be able to give you all that light without having any of the light in your eyes. And one of the ways we were able to do that is by adding a swivel joint right here at the light head. So you can swivel this light shade 360 degrees all the way around to keep the light focused and angled on what you're looking at without having the light be in your eyes. Now in the light shade there is 96 LEDs. And I do want to take a quick second just to talk about the LEDs, because what we've done is we have really changed the game with the LEDs that we use. Now we've designed a whole line of LEDs that are a premium grade. So they're not the same kind of grade of LEDs that you're going to get at a Home Depot, at a Lowe's, at a Ace Hardware, at any of your hardware stores at all. These LEDs have been specifically designed by us to last a very, very long time, but also to give you a optimum lighting quality. So all of our LEDs that we use across all of our lights are all designed to last you over 50,000 hours. So what does that mean? So if you're sewing 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, you can realistically expect 20 to 25 years of use out of any one of our lights without ever having to worry about changing or replacing the light bulbs that are in there. So it's a one-time light that you're never going to have to worry about adding any more money into or replacing any components or bits and pieces. We do also have a 2-year manufacturing warranty on all of our lights as well. So if you did on the off chance experience any type of technical difficulty with the light, whether a couple of the LEDs right out the gate were not working, the power button wasn't working, the arm wasn't holding properly, you can contact Daylight and we'll replace that whole light for you for free for the first 2 years. Now with the LEDs and with the light, we've also neutralized the light. And what I mean by that is you can see back here my orange end table light. So that is our typical yellow incandescent light bulb that we've had for generations upon generations. And it's a good light, but it's not a natural light source. So just like our name as the company applies, Daylight, we've incorporated that same light into the lights that we build. So all the lighting that we use are all designed to be a mimic of what natural sunlight is 12 o'clock noon on a bright sunny day there in Arizona. So the same light that you would be using sewing and doing a hand project or puzzles or reading outside is the same light that you can now bring indoors to your sewing room from one of our lamps. Now with the LEDs and with the slimline, it does have 4 different levels of light. So you can see as I'm dimming it down there. So when you turn it on, it goes right to the brightest level. At the brightest level, whether you're looking at the table lamp or the floor lamp, it's equivalent to a 250 watt light bulb. So that orange light I have back here, that's a 100-watt light bulb. So imagine 2.5 times that light bulb in brightness coming out of this little LED lamp. Same thing goes with the floor lamp. And then when you dim it down, you go down 25% each time until you turn it off. So you go from 100%, 75, 50, 25 off, and then you're ready to rock and roll. Now, one of my favorite things I love about this slimline, so I do get a lot of questions, and I get a lot of them, especially at the Rusty Barn there in Phoenix, because a lot of you are traveling from different parts of the country to come down to Arizona or different parts of Arizona to come to the show. Can you travel with the lamp? And my answer is always yes. So it does break apart nice and easily. So you can see here, 2 different pieces, right? And then you do have the table clamp that clamps onto the table, so it would be 3 pieces technically. But because it's all metal, if you throw it in your bag and you're walking into the show and you drop your bag accidentally, you don't have to worry about your light breaking on you. Pretty cool. Now with the slimline table lamp, it's normally $215. You got to go to the Mulqueen's website to check out what the special is that they have going on there, because we have some really awesome specials for all of our lights on their website. So make sure you're going to their website, checking out the daylight page under the virtual event that Darren will show you how to get to in just a little bit. But you're going to see all the specials, all the different lightings we have. You can even call into the store to get the quotes and get the prices on there as well. With the floor lamp here, so if you don't have a spot to clamp the clamp onto the table, with the table clamp, it is a 2 3/4 inch wide clamp. So you do get a very large opening and only take up minimal space. You only need about a 1/2 inch of lip on the end of your table to get the clamp. But if you don't have that, because some of the sewing cabinets out there don't have the lip on them, we do have a floor lamp option here. So I can angle you down so you can see the base there. So that base, it's about the size of a small dinner plate. So it's about 8 inches across, and then it's only 3/8 of an inch thick in thickness. So it is not very, very thick. It's not very big and clunky and bulky. I can bring it up here so you guys can see it a little better. So it is a very thin base. We designed it that way so that it's able to easily slide underneath any table, any counter, anywhere where you're working, to make sure that you can get the lamp as close as possible to you without having to worry about it taking up too much space or bumping into something or knocking something over. Also, on top of that, we designed it to be very stable. So it is an edge-weighted base. So all the weighting of the base is along the outside edge of the base there. So if you were to bump into it, it's not going to knock over. It's not going to fall over. You don't have to worry about bumping into it accidentally, the whole lamp tipping over and knocking your lamp out or breaking it on you. So we've designed it to be very stable that way. We've also designed it so even if you do completely extend it out, completely parallel here, and you knock into it or walk into it, it's not going to tip the light over on you as well. So it gives you that peace of mind to know that no matter what you're going to do or how you're going to use the lamp, it's never going to fall apart and lose its ability to hold its position for you. Just like the table lamp, it does have a 4-step dimmer, and they both come with an 8-foot long cord. So it gives you plenty of cord space to be able to reach out and plug it into the wall wherever you need the plug to be. Cool. On the slimline floor lamp, it's normally a $275 lamp, but again, go to the website, check out the specials that they have going on there. Cool. All right. And if anybody has any questions at all during this, if you want to see something a little bit closer, just send it in the comment section there. They'll pop it up on screen for me to be able to see, and then I'll be able to answer your questions that you guys have at home, just in case I'm not covering a question that somebody has for me. Cool. Awesome. Moving right along, the next lamp I have here is one of our favorites. It's our little sewing machine lamp. You can see it right here. It's got a very strong 6-inch gooseneck, so you can flex the lamp to go wherever you want to go. Comes with two of these 3M industrial strength adhesive sticky pads to stick on the head of your sewing machine. So that way you can put it onto 2 separate machines or have it on 2 spots on 1 machine. Nice and bright little lamp. You can see just how bright this little guy is. It's about equivalent to a 150-watt light bulb in brightness, coming out of 1 single LED with a spotlight effect. Brenda, the floor lamp. All right, cool. Brenda wants to know how tall is the floor lamp. So Brenda, just to give you an idea, at full height, where it is right now, I'm 6'2". So the full height of the floor lamp is about 4.5, 4 3/4 feet tall. So it's going to be high enough to go over top of the edge of your couch, high enough to go up over top of one of your cutting tables, your sewing cabinet. So it gives you plenty of space there as well. And then, so this Cher wants to know what the price of the slimline light is. So Cher, you have to go to their website to see what the sale price is, but the everyday price that you would find at Mulqueen's if it wasn't part of this event would be $215 for the table lamp and $275 for the floor lamp. Cool. Thanks for the questions, guys. So then back to the little sewing machine lamp here, as you can see. Like I said, it's got that very strong gooseneck, so no matter how many times you're moving and bending the gooseneck there, it's never going to lose its ability to hold its position. We designed it so that it can stick on the head of the machine, and then you can angle that light right down on the foot, on the bobbin plate, on the needle point, right where the magic's happening. So if you do have like a slim line, but you do need a little bit extra light, the sewing machine lamp is a great little add-on to be able to stick on your machine and have it light up right where you need it the most, right where all that magic is happening, is like I like to say. We do also include in the box 4 wire clips. So once you have this attached onto your machine, you can take the wire clips and run them along the back of the machine so the wire stays tucked up and out of the way. So there's no chance that you're going to get it sewn into any of your fabric or any of your material that you're working on and risk damaging the cord there. Sewing machine lamp, it is normally $46. We have them on sale on the website, so make sure you go and check it out. There it is. It's on sale for $150 on the website. Cool. The next one I have here is one of my personal favorites. But Brenda, the floor lamp swivel, so yep. So just like the table lamp, I can grab the light shade here and swivel that lamp shade. So just like the table lamp, it has the swivel point in the neck here, and I can show you that. So it is just a plug that plugs in to the outlet there of the lamp. So you're able to spin it around, rotate it, angle the light where you want to go. One good thing I do also want to mention as well, because as I'm feeling the light, I realize I didn't say it, but one of the things that we did with the design of the LEDs is we designed them so that they don't get hot. So instead of sitting under like one of those old incandescent lamps or the old tube lamps, you can work with one of our slim lines or one of our Luminos or any of our lights and not start feeling the heat coming off of those lamps. So that's one of the best things about LEDs. They don't get hot. They don't give off any heat. Some of them do get a little bit warm, and that depends on the amount of power that's running to the lamp to give you the maximum brightness. So like with the slim line, because it is all cased in metal, the metal does retain a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of that heat, but no more than to be like a hand warmer on a cold New Jersey day like it is here today. Cool, Brenda, thanks for the questions. The next one I have is one of our newer lamps. Try to make sure you guys can all see it at home here. This is our new Halo Go. And it's new because we have 2 other versions of the Halo, but this is the newest one with the battery pack built in there. Julie said, can you get extra stickers so you can attach them to several machines? Just transfer this. Julie, yes. So in the packaging, they come with the 2 original, but if you ever need more, you can just call my customer service department and ask them, and we can have a new set shipped to you. It's something that we don't sell to the stores. It's just like a free little giveaway that we'll give out if we have extras in the warehouse, which we normally really always do. Beverly, what's more popular, sewing? Ooh, Beverly, that is a great question. So it's tough to say that because they both have different uses and different abilities. I would say from my experience that the table lamp is definitely the more popular of the two, but the floor lamp is not very, very far behind. I personally like the floor lamp a tiny bit more than the table lamp because it's not attached to the table. So if I wanted to go and take it from my office to my cutting table to my living room to sit on the couch and read, all I have to do is unplug it, pick it up, and take it with me. The whole thing weighs about 8 pounds, so it's not a super, super heavy lamp to be dragging around from spot to spot with you wherever you go. So it really gives you a lot more mobility with the floor lamp. But if you're just looking for one spot to light up and not really worry about moving it, you do have the slimline table lamp there. We do also have a table base that you can get separate for the table lamp. So instead of having it in the clamp, it would just mount into the table base, and then you'd be able to pick it up and take it where you want to go. Rita, did I miss the Rita, you did, but I can always reiterate that. So the sewing machine lamp, it is normally $46. Or I'm sorry, $52. My bad. Getting confused here myself. It's normally $52, but they have them on sale on the Mulqueen's website. They'll pop them up below on that bottom feed there at the bottom of your screen for any of the pricing that I don't mention on the stream. So this way you can see what it is, or you can go to their website, mulqueen.com, go to the virtual event, click on the daylight logo, that's this logo here, and you'll be able to see all the special prices for all the lights. Cool. So back to the Halo Go. It is a nice lightweight portable travel table magnifying lamp and magnifier. It does have a magnifier right here. It's a 2.25 times magnifier. That little inset lens you see down here at the bottom, that is a ×4. So it really comes in handy when you're trying to work with like threading a very fine needle, or if you're trying to do a very fine small project, or if you're like me, just pulling a splinter out that's really helpful there. What's really cool, what I love about this, you can see the little inset lens there. You can grab it and you can spin and rotate that magnifying lamp or magnifying lens. So depending on if you do or don't need that inset lens, all you got to do is grab the lens with 2 fingers and it spins in the casing of the lamp to move that inset lens in and out of your way. So as you can see there on the bottom, the sewing machine light is on sale for $40. It's normally $52. So make sure if you need a good sewing machine lamp to go get that price right now. What I love about this, you can see it is completely cordless. There's a battery pack built into the bottom of the lamp here. On high power, which it's at now, you're going to get 4 hours of light. On low power, you're going to get up to 8 hours of light. So you get a lot of light from this little lamp. It's about 140 watts of comparable light output from the LEDs on the bottom there. The light shade itself does pivot, so you're able to twist it back and forth depending on how you need it to use. So if you're at a class and you need a good light to take with you, you can always take this lamp. It'll adjust and angle out forward and up and down, and then you can angle the lamp to give you more light underneath your machine, but also then use the magnifier to help you with the sewing as well. It does come with the magnifying case, magnifier protector. So if you don't need the magnifier, you can just close that down. You can get it and use it just as a table lamp. One great thing too, and you'll hear it here, you hear that clicking. So that clicking is a click button or a push button, where most of our lights like the Slimline, they're just a touch button to dim it down and off, on and off. Because it's a travel friendly lamp, we didn't want it to be in somebody's bag and be getting bounced around or knocked around, and then the light turns on, and then by the time you get to your class, your light's dead, and you're like, what the heck did I do? So it is a push button to make sure that you can rest assured it's not going to turn on in your bag when you're using it. It does come with a nice 8-foot long USB style cord and the wall plug as well. So you're able to plug it into any USB outlet to recharge it if you need it to recharge. You can also keep it plugged in and charging as well. So you don't have to worry about getting to class and then only having half charge, and next thing you know, the light's turning off. How do I plug it back in? You could plug it back in on some of those newer sewing machines that have the USB port on the side there, and it will charge the lamp up. One other cool thing here, I hope you can see it. So you see these 3 little dots here? That is your power meter. So when I turn it on, You can see how those 3 lights go on. So that is telling me that this lamp is fully charged currently. As the battery drains out, you'll notice that 1, 2, and then the third one will start to flash as the light gets very low. So you'll know you need to plug it back in and charge it then. And it does fold down flat like you can see here, so it makes it really easy. Thanks, guys. But you can see how flat it folds down, so it makes it really easy just to slide it into the side sleeve of a bag, be able to take it with you wherever you want to go. And that's our Halo Go. It's normally $130, but again, you got to go to Mulqueen's website to check out the price there, or one of the guys can pop it up on the screen there below if anybody has any questions on that sewing machine light. Or I'm sorry, the Halo Go, not the sewing machine light. Cool, next one. Now, this one is one of my personal favorites. This is the Luminos, and it is the granddaddy light that we have. It's the biggest, the brightest light that we manufacture at the Daylight Company. It produces an equivalent of 415 watts of overall light output from the 120 LEDs along the light shade there. So it is super, super, super bright. It is capable of lighting up your whole room for you without having to move it around or reposition it. But it's going to give you some really awesome light right where you're working. We did design this as a task lamp. And what I mean by that is it's more geared towards a large working area. It's more geared towards a cutting table. You can use it within around your sewing machine, but in, like where the Slimline has that very thin, slim head feature, the Luminos does not. So it is a little bit bigger of a head shade, which is why it's able to give you more light. But it's going to be a little bit, it may be a little bit more in the way of your sewing machine if you're using it around there. Whereas for like your cutting table, your ironing board, if you have an area where you're laying out your project before you go and put it together, this is a great light to have for that area. Like I said, 120 LEDs in the light shade there. The lampshade itself is about 2 feet wide. It's about 2 feet wide, so you have a very wide lampshade there. It's going to give you a spread of light. So when I have it at its highest point right here, from the light source down to the table, it's going to give you 100% brightness on a 6 foot wide by 4 foot deep section of your table, and then the light will very, very lightly disperse outside of that. It's also going to help reduce any shadows you're seeing and working with by up to 60+%. So why is that such a big deal, and why is it reduce shadows so much? Well, that's one of my favorite things about this lamp. So I don't know if anybody at home has been to a sports stadium recently, or if you've been to like the basketball arena or the baseball stadium for the Diamondbacks there, or any stadium at all, or any high school, whatever it be. If you've ever taken a quick second to look up at the lights of that stadium, field, etc., you'll notice that each light is slightly angled, or even if you're at like a play, you look at the lighting, the lights are always angled slightly differently. The reason that is for the players on the field, for the actors on the stage, it helps to break up the shadows they're seeing and they're working with a lot more than just having all the lights pointed at one direction. When you have them all pointed in one direction, it tends to give you a little bit more shadow, not break up the shadows as much. So that is exactly what we did here. And I'll dim this down so everybody at home can see, hopefully. But we took all the LEDs in this light shade, and they are all slightly angled at a slightly different position. So that way when you're working with it, it's shining light and overlapping light rays to give you less shadows and let you work more freely with with less eye strain, with less confusion of what you're looking at, less shades and dark spots in areas that you can't really have, you're gonna have to move your fabric or your pattern around in order to see what you're doing. So it allows you to be able to keep your patterns, your fabric in one isolated spot without having to move it because of a shadow or a disruption of what you're seeing. And on top of that, we put them in a shotgun spread pattern. So there's different circles and spreads across the whole lampshade there to help reduce shadows even more. So when you're working with this lamp, you will not see very many shadows at all. Now, one of my favorite things is the actual head unit itself here. I'm going to bring it close so you guys can all at home can see this. So you see this lampshade or this head unit right here. This is a very special design for us at the Daylight Company. It's a proprietary design. We call it a friction hold head unit. What I mean by that is you'll notice on either side of the head, there's no wing nuts or bolts that you have to loosen or tighten to be able to get the head to hold its own position. You just simply grab it, move it, and wherever you move it is where it's going to stay. You're never going to have to worry about loosening or tightening any bolts or wing nuts again with this lamp. All you're going to do is really just grab it, take it with you where you want to go, and it's going to self-adjust that head position. So there's no stopping and delaying your project anymore. It's really quickly, just grab it, move it, leave it, you're good to go. And also part of that has to do with the arm that we use on that. Now with the Luminos, we've added a lot of heavier duty components to the arm to ensure that the light never droops, it never falls for the amount of time that you're working with it. So whether you have it for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, the arm is never going to droop, it's never going to fall. You're never going to have to jerry rig it somehow so that it holds itself up or put any extra time and effort into it. There's a lot of heavier duty springs, more friction resistance in the elbow joints to make sure that no matter how many times you move it up and down, it's never going to droop, it's never going to fall, it's never going to lose its ability to hold its own position. And also with that, because that arm is so strong, I can lay it completely parallel to the table, as you see right there, swivel it around, and not worry about it tipping over, falling down. So this position really right here is really helpful. If you drop a needle on the ground, you have to go down and you're looking for it. You can bring your light with you to get a little shine of the reflection of the metal from the needle to help you find it a little quicker, a little easier. That's the Luminos. So the Luminos there, like I said, it's comparable to about a 415 watt light bulb. It's normally a $415 lamp, so $1 per watt. Just kidding. So it's normally $415, but you can go to mulqueens.com and check out the price that we have there. So, Kay, there is not a lifetime warranty. It's a 2-year warranty across the board for all lights, where you'll get the free replacements and free things like that. But if you did experience an issue down the line, we will work with you to be able to figure it out, how we can rectify the problem for you, whether it's replacing a couple pieces here and there or giving we'll figure out the solution for it. So Patty, there is not currently a table base for this lamp just yet. We do have some floor stands that you can get. So it would stand on the floor like the slimline floor lamp does, but it will be on wheels and casters, so you'll be able to grab it and roll it around on the floor. It's just a little bit too heavy of a light to put it on a table base. We are working on a table base for it, but because of the functions and the movements of the lamp, it makes it very hard to design a table base that is a good solution for that tabletop problem. So Beverly, it's 120 LEDs, and they're equivalent to a 415 watt light bulb. And how much energy do you use? That is a great question. Because it's LEDs, they are 80% more energy efficient than your traditional light bulb. So if this was 415 watts of light output on an old incandescent light bulb, you're drawing 415 watts of energy to light that light bulb up. Because it's LEDs, you're only using 27 watts of watts of energy. April, I hadn't planned on watching this. April, go take advantage of any of these lamps that you need. We can light up your life better than anybody else. Cool. Oh, also too, just like the slimline table lamp, I want to show you guys these. So here's the clamp for the slimline table lamp. There is the clamp for the Luminos there. They're both G clamps. Just with the Luminos, there is a cone on the top for a little extra support of the light while you're using it, while you're moving it, to make sure that no matter what position you're putting it into, it's not going to fall. You're able to leverage it better off the table, so there's less effort to be able to grab it and move it. They move very freely, very effortlessly for you. And just like the Slimline, the Luminos, it does come with an 8-foot long cord. So Terry, that is a great question. With all of our lights, the bulbs are not replaceable except for on the Slimlines, just because of the way they're designed to break apart. But because we use a very special design of LEDs, they're all guaranteed to last you 50,000 hours or 20 to 25 years of use. So you should never have to ever replace any of our LED lights for an LED actual issue. If you had an issue, it's not going to be in the LEDs. It's more likely going to be a faulty wire or an issue with the touch sensor or something outside of the LED components, which is part of why we give you a 2-year warranty, because we know if there are any built-in failures, or not built-in failures, but if there's any technical failures that happen from shipping from our warehouse to you or from the factory to us or whatever it be, that it'll fail within the 2-year time frame. And if you contact us, we're able then to send you a brand new light to replace the broken one. That was a great question. Cool. So the next one I have here is another table lamp. This one here is our D40 table lamp. So it's a nice little tabletop light. It's really good for travel, just like the Halo Go. Unlike the Halo Go, though, it does have to stay plugged in. You can see the cord back here. But it is nice and foldable, nice and twistable as well. Folds down nice and flat into a compact size. So if you want to take it with you and throw it in your bag for the hotel, for use at a class, for use at a show, you have that ability to throw it in the bag, take it with you there. The light shade does twist and rotate about 45 degrees each way. So you're able to angle the light and position it so that it's on the task at hand and not in your eyes. You see down below here, you have this little power strip here. So that's where your power is. So you can turn it on and off, but then you also have 6 different levels of light to dim it down, brighten it up, and really get the light perfect for what you're looking at, what you're wanting. It comes with a 5-foot long cord on this lamp here because it's mostly geared for sitting at your table. But it does have the ability to stretch it out, angle the light where you want it to go. The LEDs are giving you about 150 watts of comparable light output. I say comparable because with the LEDs, we don't measure them in watts anymore, because watts is really just a terminology for how much energy consumption the light is using. But I always mention watts when I talk about them because it's really easy for everybody to, picture a 100-watt light bulb and get an idea of just how bright this light is. So with this lamp, it is actually measured in lux because the LEDs, the lux count is from where the target is to the target source. So on the D40 here, the lux count is 1750. So it's giving you a very, very high amount of light output on right down to your working surface below. Now the D40, it's normally 125, and again, like I said, I've been saying, make sure you go check out the specials at mulqueen.com so you can see what the sale price is. If anybody has any questions, I'm sure the guys behind the back in Mulqueen's there, they're able to pop the pricing up for you on the screen. Now to go a little bit smaller, more for our travel friends. The next one I have here is called our Yo-Yo. Teresa, I have 2 slim lines, love them. Who do I contact? So Teresa, if you have any issues or you need a replacement bulb, you can contact our customer service department. You can go to my website, daylightcompany.com. Make sure you go to the USA page because we're also a UK company. And then in the top right corner, it'll give you the number for our customer service department If we have any in the warehouse currently, we'll be able to get one to you. If not, I know they come in every so often, so you may just have to wait a little bit before you get your replacement bulb. Cool. So the next one I have here is our little yo-yo magnifier. It's really hard to make me in the camera and have the light there too. Julie, if you bought the slimline floor lamp, could you buy a table clamp? Julie, that is a great question, and unfortunately, the answer on that one is no. The way they're designed, and I could show you right here easily. So on the table lamp, the cord comes out of the back of the lamp, so it allows it to sit in the clamp. Whereas with the floor lamp, the cord is fed up through the bottom tube and plugged in here on the bottom of the lamp there. So they are not interchangeable in how you want to work with them. So it's really one or the other. We do have the table base for the table lamp, but you can't make the table lamp into the floor lamp and the floor lamp into the table lamp. But the yo-yo, this little guy right here, nice little compact folding magnifier, runs on 3 AAA batteries, so you can see the batteries right there. Gives you about 40 hours of light when the batteries are brand new. They have the 3 little LEDs on the bottom there, so give you a little bit of extra light. This guy is great for just throwing in your bag for small applications, taking with you when you're traveling. My mom, actually, she uses one at home all the time. She has it right next to her sewing machine. So when she is doing any projects and she needs to thread her needle, or she needs to do a little seam ripping, or whatever the deal is, she pops open the lens. She has her ×3 magnifying lens right there to help her see her little fine details and projects and things like that she needs to work on while she's working on it. But it folds down nice and flat like you saw before. So you're able to throw it in your bag. It comes with a nice little handy hand strap, so you can take it with you. Just a really, really awesome little magnifier to be able to have with you on the go when you need it most. This guy retails is normally $25. Again, check out the prices on Mulqueen's website for the specials there. All right. So moving on to the next one I have. So I know I showed you guys the Luminos just a minute ago there. Now I want to show you its little brother here, the Lumi. Bring you a little bit closer here so we can talk about him. So just like we saw the Luminos, this is the Lumi. I'll bring the Luminos up here for just a size comparison real quick. So you can see at their highest points, they are slightly different sizes. Let's bring it up a little bit here. Boom. Did we lose connection? Did I lose connection? Did you lose me?
We lost your image.
My image? Uh-oh.
Yeah, we still hear you, but your image is gone.
That's not good.
This is one of my favorites too. The
Let me log out and log back in, and maybe that will, or here. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. I must have hit the button when I grabbed my stand to move you closer.
All right, we're gonna leave you again.
Back to sports.
All right, back to sports. Here we go. So you can see here with the Luminos. Sorry for the interruption, folks. But you can see here, this is the Luminos, and you have the Lumi over here. So they are slightly differences in sizes and height. They have a lot of similar functionalities, but as I said, this is the little brother to the Luminos. You can see the Luminos has that 2-foot-long light shade. The Lumi has an 18-inch wide light shade. You go from 120 LEDs with the Luminos to 96 LEDs with the Lumi. So it is a little bit less of a light output. You go from that 415 watts of light output with the Luminos to about 350 watts of light output with the Lumi. Now, like I said, with the Luminos there, you have that 6-foot wide by 4-foot deep coverage of 100% light output. With the Lumi, you have a 5-foot wide by 3-foot deep section of 100% light output. It doesn't have that it has a semi-free motion head joint. So what I mean by that, there is the wing nut here. And I'll turn it off so you guys can see. You have the wing nut on the side here to loosen and tighten to get the head to adjust up and down. So if I loosen that head unit and I left it go, I'm going to be able to still move it, but depending on certain positions, it may droop and may fall on its own until you tighten that wing nut back up. But you still have that ability, as you can see right here, to go side to side and twist it back and forth, just like the Luminos, without having to tighten or loosen any wing nuts for those positionings. Now, instead of having the 3 different levels of light like the Luminos, the Lumi only has 2. So you have 100%, and then you go down to about 50%. So you go from that 350 to about 175-ish on the dimming down there. Now you also will notice here with the Lumi and the Luminos has that slightly larger arm, but it also has that covered arm. So we put that cover on the Luminos there because there's a lot more expensive components inside the Luminos here, higher quality, I should say, components inside the Luminos to ensure it never droops and falls. We put that cover on there to prevent any dust, dirt, debris from getting inside that arm and gunking it up. The Lumi, because it is also a lighter weight lamp, it doesn't have as strong of springs in the arm as the Luminos does. This goes from about a 9-pound lamp to about a 5-pound lamp. So there is a big weight difference there as well. So you still have a lot of friction resistance in the elbow joints as well. You have the exact same clamp as you do on the Luminos. So it is very, very similar. And like I said, it is just the little brother of the Luminos. So the Lumi, it is normally $225. You can go on to Mulqueen.com and check out the special that we have for that lamp there. And if you're a fan of Darren, I know Darren is a big fan of this guy here, so make sure you're taking advantage of the Darren special, I guess we can call it then. Cool. So I got the next one here. Now this one is This one is a personal favorite of mine. It's been a mainstay of the Daylight Company lighting for quite some time now. We've had this particular lamp with us for about 10 years now. So this has been one of the longest and one of the more popular lamps that we've had in our company's repertoire of lights for a very, very long time. It's the Magnificent Floor and Table Magnifier. So right now you can see I have it on the floor stand there, just so the magnifier is up high enough so everybody can see it. But it's a 5-inch wide lens magnifier. The magnifying lens itself is a 1.75 times magnification. You have 27 LEDs that go halfway around the light. So you can see how the front edge of that magnifier is left open. So that way you can get a little bit closer to the magnifier without actually being on top of the magnifier or on top of the lighting. So you don't have that reflection and the reflective quality of the LEDs onto your fabric and into your eyes. What's really awesome is the gooseneck here. So if you're doing any needlework, any crocheting, any hand project at all, you have plenty of hand space to work with behind the magnifier where you're sitting, where you're working, so you're not bumping into the stand all the time. And I said it's floor and table. So this is really cool. Bring it down a little lower here. So if I wanted to adjust the height of this magnifier, all I have to do is come down to the base here. There is a screw lock at the back of the lamp where it plugs in. You just unscrew that until you can pull the lamp out. And now you have these 2 separate power poles that you can just easily twist on, twist off, plug it back in, and now you have a lower magnifier. This would be more geared for like sitting at your couch, or if you have like a low sitting chair, to be able to lower down the magnifier to use it more effectively where you're working. Or if you want to use it sitting at a table and you don't want to have the whole height and stand there, you can just unscrew that other pole, plug it right back into the base, just the magnifier and the gooseneck arm. And now you have a tabletop 5-inch magnifying lens. So it does give you a lot of versatility of how you want to move it around, how you want to position it, without actually having to work around the design of the light, being just a floor lamp model. And it's very easy to reconstruct it back together. You just take your pieces, screw them together, grab your other pole, screw that back together. Oops, going the wrong way here. Take it, plug it back into the base, and away you go. That's our Magnificent. It's one of our most popular hand working lamps that we have. Like I said, it's been a very long mainstay with our daylight line for a very long time. You can easily see why this lamp is such a popular lamp for hand workers, needle workers, sewers, quilters, everybody, and everybody in between. Now it's normally $145. You can go check out the special on mulqueen.com. Or if anybody has any questions, you can ask it, and then they'll put it in the bottom of the screen there for you as well to see. So that way you can get the price right now on the live feed without having to go leave the feed, go check out the pricing on the website, and then go get the price at the website. Cool. So I got got 3 more lamps here for you. This one here is one of our newer lamps. It's not necessarily the newest. We've had it for a couple of years now, but it's a very popular lamp to say the least. This is our Duo floor lamp, and we call it the Duo lamp because you have the 2 different lamp shades there. What's really cool, and I'll angle you up a little here so you can see me better, but if I can angle it up because there is a 1-foot long gooseneck in the arm of the light there, but you also have a pivot joint here at the head unit. So you can see right here just how easy that is to adjust the lamp, move it around, reposition it. So it is designed to give you a very condensed focused lighting, or you can spread it out and spread the love around, as I like to say. Each lamp has 4 different levels of light, starting from the lowest, working up to the top. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. You can work them independently, depending on where you're working, what you're working on, how much light you do or don't need. With this lamp, it's producing about 225 watts of light output when the light shades are together like this. Now, if I go and I spread them apart, it's going to spread the light out over a larger area. So you're going from 225 down to about 180 watts of light output by spreading the light out like that. So it gives you a lot of good flexibility, a lot of good positions, the ability to move it around because it is on the floors as well. You have the gooseneck, so you can angle it out a little bit more, give you some more space to work with there. Now, this is normally $110 if you were to go to Mulqueen's any other day, but during this virtual event. So make sure if you want a good duo lamp, you can go check out the specials that they have there. Cool. Next one I have here is another little travel lamp. I'll fix my camera a little bit. Okay, there we go. So we have another little travel lamp. I know you've seen the Yo-Yo, you've seen the Halo Go. Now, if you just need a lamp, we have our little smart travel lamp. Same thing, it's got a built-in battery pack built into the base down of the light here. Gives you about 3 hours of light when it's fully charged. You have the power port there to plug it back in and charge it. Unlike the Halo Go, when you get this lamp, it doesn't come with the wall plug. It just comes with the USB cable to be able to plug it back in and recharge it. It gives you about 75 watts of light output from the LEDs in the light shade there. You got your power button right down here, this little funky shape. All you got to do to turn it on and off is give it a nice little tap. Make sure you cover the whole button, turn it on, turn it off. If you hold it down, you will be able to dim down the light level as well too. So if you don't need the full power of the light, you just need a little bit extra light, just hit that and just press and hold that power button there, and you can dim it down and brighten it back up. The smart travel lamp here, it's normally $65. So you can check out the specials that Mulqueen has going on. So now, the last, well, it's one, but there's actually three of them. And I know this is Keith's favorite light that I have. He likes to, every time I see him at the Rusty Barn, he always likes to do a little dance on top of this light, which is not really meant to be dance on. It's meant to do applique, paper piecing, tracing. You know, it's meant to do proper applications for a sewer and quilter. But, you know, we found that it's very durable. And it is, bring you guys close here so I can talk about it effectively. This is our Wafer 2 light box. So this is the Wafer 2, but like I said, we have three different sizes of it. So I have a Wafer 1, a Wafer 2, and a Wafer 3. Now, the Wafer 2 here, to give you a scale, it is 17 inches wide for the working surface by 12.5 inches deep for the height for the working surface there. The Wafer 1 is exactly half of the size of this, so it's 9 inches wide by 12.5 inches high. The Wafer 3 is the working surface is the exact same size as a fat quarter of fabric. So it's 23.5 by 18.5 inches wide. So you have a lot of space with the three different sizes. Our most popular size is the Wafer 2 because it does fit 90% of the projects that you're going to be doing at home. So you don't have to worry about moving things too much and too often. A lot of people like the Wafer 3 because it's that mainstay, get it, put it down in your sewing room, leave it there, it's never going anywhere type of thing. And then the Wafer 1, if you're looking for a good light box to be able to travel with and take with you on the road, the Wafer 1 is the winner there. Now, with the wafers, we make them very specially. So what I mean by that, normally with a light box, the light tubes, the light bulbs, the LEDs, they're going to be running right under the surface that you're working on. So it's going to be a very intense light coming up through that working surface and right into your eyes. So it can get a little overwhelming at times. What we did when we designed this was we took the LEDs, and you guys can see very faintly there at home, but we put them along the top and the bottom of the light box, so that way when you're working with it, the lights are shining in rather than up. So it makes it a lot easier on your eyes. We have a very special diffuser that we've designed in the middle here, which is that white screen you're seeing. So that white screen allows you and allows us to have the lights shine straight through and not have any single dark section of the light box itself. So every single square inch of it is going to be the exact same light output as another spot of the light box itself. Fully dimmable. Just press the power button here in the top right hand corner. Press it down, hold it, dims all the way down to 10% light output. Press it again, hold it again, comes right back up to 100%. Now it's a continuous dimmer. So what I mean is if I hold this down, I can dim it down, and it's going to continuously dim down until it's at its lowest point, or continuously brighten up until it's at its brightest point. But there's also a memory setting built into the light box, so that way if I do dim it down and leave it plugged in, no matter how often I move it, how often I turn it on and off, let's say this is the proper light level for me here. As long as I leave it there, leave it plugged in, no matter how many times I turn it on and off, it's going to stay at that same light level without ever having to be readjusted again. Now, one of my favorite things we've done with this light is the materials that we've made it out of. So typically a light box is made with a very thin plastic screen. Maybe it has a little bit of some metal components. Maybe it's made entirely out of plastic. What we did, because we know, they're going to be used, they're going to go through their trials and tribulations, and people are going to not always take the best care of their light box. Not everybody, but there are a select few. And to make sure that you don't have any issues with it if you're traveling with it, if it drops, if it falls, if your cat jumps on top of it, or if one of your kids gets to it, and you don't have to worry about it breaking. We made it out of plexiglass, so you can hear just how hard that is there. So both the top and the bottom of the light box are made entirely of plexiglass. Now, my favorite thing to do with this, so I have it right here in my hands. I can throw it down. I can step all over it. Come back to the cord, plug it in, and bam. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to go home and you're going to get yourself a Wafer Light box and you're going to start jumping up and down on it. But I do that just to show you the durability of this light box, so that you know at home that nothing is going to break it, nothing's going to cause it to scratch, nothing is going to cause it to get damaged on you. So you can rest assured that if your grandkids, if your kids are playing on the light box, there's a very, 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 very low chance of anything happening to it. Now, it's great for tracing, like I said, but it's also great for paper piecing. So I have my little paper piecing pattern there, and you can place that right on top. You could take your fabric, put it over top, be able to trace your different pieces out very quickly, very easily, without having too much stress. You're not running back and forth from your sliding glass door to your sewing machine to your cutting mat and constantly repeating that cycle over again. That gets tiring after a little bit. So what we did as well was we came out with different cutting mats to work with the light boxes as well. And as you can see, they are a clear translucent light cutting mat. They're self-healing as well too. So if you're cutting them with a rotary cutter, an X-Acto blade, a pen knife, whatever your cutting tool is, you're going to be able to cut right on top of the cutting mats without leaving any overly visual scars, marks, dents, cuts, pieces at all. But we have two. So for the wafer 1, the wafer 2, and the wafer 3, they all have a gridded cutting mat that you can get separately to go on top of your light box there. For just the wafer 2, we do have a fully translucent, fully clear cutting mat that you're able to put right over top and still be able to see your pattern through the cutting mat and through the fabric. So I have my paper piecing pattern down. If I had a piece of fabric, I'd be able to put it over top and still see the different lines and marks of my paper piecing pattern, my applique pattern. If you're doing any fussy cutting as well, you're still going to be able to see those without any interfering grid lines there. So it makes it very quick and very easy to be able to paper piece, to applique, to do any fussy cutting without having to constantly switch back and forth from your light box to your cutting mat, and help to save you a lot of time. Now the wafer 1 is normally $175. The wafer 2, which is this one here, it's normally $275. The wafer 3 is normally $375. The cutting mats for the wafer 1 are normally $19. The wafer 2 cutting mats are normally $29, and the wafer 3 cutting mats are normally $49. But Mulqueen has a great special going on. Like I've been saying for all the other lights, go to their website, mulqueen.com, check out all the prices, call the store, get the show special prices. You know, we couldn't be together at Rusty Barn Phoenix this year, so we're bringing all the deals and all the specials home to you guys. So if you need any good lighting at all, whether it's a light box, whether it's a magnifier, a table lamp, a Lumia Luminos, go take advantage of those specials.
Wow, that was amazing. I love the daylight. We love you, Ed. That was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Darren. I just I wish I was able to do an Irish jig. I would have gone on top of the light box and danced around a little.
Yeah, Jared was like, look at that confidence of Ed jumping on his light box, his wafer thin light box.
You gotta have confidence.
Yeah, we do sell a lot of them, and people do love them.
They're the best,
especially with the cutting mat on top.
Oh yeah, if you're getting the wafer, you got to get the cutting mat, because the applications and the possibilities that you're going to be able to save time in your sewing room are they're endless.
Yeah. Every light you described, I kind of want each one of them.
Well, we got to order one of each then.
Yeah, I saw that Jared, while I stepped out for a second a minute ago, he gave away a sewing machine lamp already. That was nice of him.
Wow. Who was our big winner?
Yep.
I'm gonna.
Who was the winner of the sewing machine lamp?
You know, I think Miss Brenda Hulsey.
It was Brenda.
Hey, Brenda, congratulations.
Brenda, I'm gonna put my email up on the screen, and then you can go ahead and email me all your information. We'll get that sent out to you. Okay?
Where's your email, Jer?
It's coming. It's
It's
coming.
coming. His email is ger@mulqueen.com. Here it comes. Wow.
There it is.
The magic of computers.
Gotta love it.
You know, it was great visuals, Ed. Everything was really wonderful. Really appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you
my
for the
pleasure,
offers. We do have them all on our website. Jer's going to do a quick demo after. I have just a few PowerPoint slides I'm going to show, and Jer's going to show exactly on our website where to go. And I appreciate everything, Ed. Anybody have any questions before Ed signs out here? I think they were asking a lot of questions during, and you did
Yeah, they all
answer
had a lot of great questions.
Yep, we love it when we get questions. Brenda, you won the sewing machine lamp, which is I just moved it off my screen, but Ed has one right there. It's one that you plug in, or you stick to the nose end of your machine, and kind of project your light where your fabric is. That's like the northern light.
Down on the needle, the bobbin, the foot of your machine. You're going to get two of these sticky pads in the packaging with the wire clips for the wire as well too. Have a nice, strong, sturdy gooseneck, so no matter how fast your machine's sewing, you're never going to have it bouncing around on you like that.
You don't want that.
There you go.
Perfect. Well, that was wonderful. You made our day brighter. Oh, here's another one.
Patty, what size tables do the Patty, that's a great question. So all of our clamps are all designed to be 2 3/4 inches wide. So any table that has a lip inside of 2 3/4 inches or lower, all of the lamps will be able to clamp onto. The slimline table clamp, you just need about a 1/2 inch minimum to get it on and to clamp it on efficiently. For the Lumi and the Luminos, you need about an inch, 1.25 inches to be able to clamp it on effectively. Sandy, if you have any issues with your Magnificent and you have it within that 2-year warranty, you can go to the daylightcompany.com. In the top right-hand corner of our webpage, you're going to see the number for our customer service. You just got to make sure that you're on the USA page, because sometimes there's a bug that we haven't figured out yet. It takes you to the UK page instead of the USA page. So just drop down the location menu, click on USA. It'll give you our customer service phone number, and we'll take care of your Magnificent.
And if you buy your lights at Mulqueen, as you know, we take care of everything as well. So
Yep.
you can always come in and see us. We'll take care of your 2-year warranty here too. If you're here, if you're not in Arizona, that's when you could go directly to their website to customer service. But if you're here in Arizona, just bring it in here to Mulqueen's and we'll take care of it for you. If you have any warranty issues, there's never been a question asked on that, which is, you know, a lot of companies, if you have something wrong with your product, they ask all these questions before they would even warranty something. Daylight, they don't ever question anything. If there's something wrong with it, we just give you another one.
Yep. We take care of you.
Yep. Well, perfect. Thank you so much, Ed.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Darren.
I did hear from Rusty Barn that they might be putting it on still this year, but you know how every time we get excited for something coming up, then it gets put out further and further. But we'll be in touch to see if not earlier, like April, May, June, for a Rusty Barn, we'll set it up for next January.
Yeah, keep me informed of what's going on. If Rusty Barn's going on, I'd love to be there with you guys.
Well, thank you for everything.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
See you
Don't
guys.
go away. Thanks, Ed. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Don't go away. We're going to turn on the camera to Jer here. I'm going to, oh, actually, we're going to do a PowerPoint real quick. Yep, we're going to do a PowerPoint real quick. Thank you for being here. I have just a quick kind of overview of what we just discussed. Jer's going to get my PowerPoint up. Here it is. I can get past that one. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so the daylight magnifier models, there was two that he showed with magnifiers. One was the floor table. We do have that on sale for $110, and the Halo, the travel one with the magnifier, on sale for $99. These prices are shipped for free anywhere in the U.S. The Wafer Lights, there's three different ones, three different sizes, and they range from $99 on sale up to $250. And then the mats, they're also on sale there. And the slim lines, these are our most popular lamps. The table one, which I have here in front of me, that one is on sale for $150, which is a great price. We'll ship it at no charge. And they are rated for 50,000 hours, which is pretty amazing. We have the Luminos and the Lumi, $290 for the most magnificent light out there. And then the Lumi, which is the baby brother of it. It's also bright. We have it actually right outside this room on one of our cabinets. The machine light is $40. And then these are the specialty lights that were shown. They are the little yo-yo, the little clip-on lamp, the duo that he showed right before the Wafer Lights, and the regular travel lamp without the magnifier. So these are all going to be on our website. If you have any questions, you can call our store. That's our Mesa store number. And just say you're watching the live presentation and you have questions, so that way they know that it needs to come to either Darren or Jer or my brother Ken or Keith. They might ask for your number and we'll call you right back if we are going live. Or you can email me, Darren@mulqueen.com. We have all of our event offers at our website. And I think that's the last slide. So I'm going to have Jer show real quick how to find us, our items on our website, all the daylights. And I'm going to reset our table. We have Bridget coming up here in a few moments to demo about 6 really quick demo ideas that you may be interested in. So Jer will also tell you that we are going to change this live stream to another one. But take it away, Jer. Now, Jer and weather.
All right, so just bear with me for a second. I'm going to get the website pulled up and make sure you guys are looking at the right things. So when we are done with this next little demo that we're going to be doing, we are going to end this stream. Yesterday, it went on too long and we ended up losing everyone at a random time. So what we're going to do is at just before our noon o'clock show, we're going to switch to our second stream for the day. So that way everyone can watch throughout the day and not get disconnected. So let me go ahead and add my screen in. Look, there's myself. Alrighty, so I'm going to go to mulqueen.com. That's our website. So if you look up here at the top, it's going to say our Mulqueen Sewing and Fabrics Virtual Sewing and Quilting and Embroidery Expo. So what you will do is you can go ahead and click right here on this, the banner. It's just the main banner on the screen. So what you'll do now is scroll down. Every single day is laid out, and it's basically how they come throughout the day. So today we had Ed with daylight. So if you go ahead and click on that, it's going to come up. You'll have the wafer light boxes, magnifiers, other lamps, and accessories. So you can go ahead and click on those, or you can scroll down. And as you scroll down, each item is listed right there for you. So like just for instance, the slimline table lamp is right here. It's on sale from or for $150 from $215. That will ship for free. So any orders over $49 will ship for free on our website. And then that's in the US. We are still working on getting shipping to our someone's saying You guys hear me, or am I? Someone said sound, but I'm pretty sure I can be heard. Okay, but what? We're good. Okay. So Canada is kind of a hit or miss with our website for some reason. So we're working on that. So just bear with us. But I saw a few questions as far as the there was a few questions that I saw that was about the shipping and the purchasing on our website. So when it comes to the sale items at the end of the week, the 31st, which is Sunday, that's when all of our items turn off sale. So you have until Sunday at is it midnight, basically Monday morning. So Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Is when we cut off our sale. So at that point, then all of the sales will be done. So if you want to purchase anything for the sale prices, go ahead and you can add it to your cart. Just be wary of the fact that if it's something that we don't have a large quantity of in stock, or if it's something that we're not ordering, then you would want to purchase that ahead of time before leaving everything else in your cart. And then the time zone would be Mountain Standard Time. Rewatching presentations, that's all on our Facebook page, as well as our YouTube. So if you go on, I can actually show you real quick. I'll log into my Facebook. Darren, you have something to say? You're good. I'm just logging into Facebook.
We have Bridget that will demo a number of items here in a moment. And those items are going to be on the very homepage of mulqueen.com.
I'll show them in a second where those are going to be.
Special events tab. We're going to demo the M2 Oliso small iron. We're going to demo the Gypsy Quilter felted wool pressing mat. The Quilter Select self-erase pen. Powder fuse. Glue stick and a friction pen. So you'll be on just in one moment.
Alrighty, so going back to here, you can see the stream that you guys are watching on Facebook right now is right here it's pinned to the top of our profile. To rewatch yesterday's, you're gonna just scroll down, and yesterday was a good long one, so you'll go ahead and see it right here. So this was the second half after we had hit the 8-hour mark. So it cut us off, but that's the second half, and then right here is the first half. So you guys can go ahead and click on that right there, and that's where you'll find everything from yesterday. If you aren't following us on Facebook and you're on our YouTube, it's just going to be the same thing. If you go to our YouTube page, you can go ahead and find it on there as well. One quick little thing, anything else that you see in this stream that's not, it's done from us and not through a company, you will see on the main homepage, it's going to say live event product specials. So you can go ahead and click on that. And then as you scroll down, these are all of the items that you will see from us that you won't see being presented by another company. So Bridget is about to demo this iron, the wool mat, and then a couple other items. There's Floriani quick fuse. So as soon as that's done, or you guys will get disconnected from this stream, and then but you can find the next streams right after, and it'll be all good to go. Alrighty. So Bridget is going to be coming on here right now, and
you're on, Bridget.
I'm on.
Oh,
Hi everybody, my name is Bridget, and I'm going to demo a few
actually,
items today.
we don't have a mic on Bridget yet. I'm going to walk past the camera.
okay, Darren's getting her a mic real quick. So is there any questions that I can answer while they're getting mic'd up? Go back to me. Alrighty,
I'm sorry,
so beautiful quilt behind me. So this is actually the Hoop Sisters design. Our educator Kathy Brown made it. So it's all hoop or quilting in the hoop. Let's see.
They're killing it here. They keep calling, the processing is down, unless they go through PayPal, they go through. I'm trying to get.
Okay, credit card processing is down currently. You guys can go through PayPal. Just hold off on calling the store because we're just getting battled with calls. So go ahead and wait for a little bit. Give us about 30, 45 minutes. Ken, my dad, is working on getting the credit card processing back up. So Irma, you can pick it up at the store. Anything that you guys, if you're local, you can do curbside pickup. That's free as well. The light that Bridget has over her work is the Slimline 3. And then the light that sticks to your machine is the sewing machine light. So that's the one we did give away. So I will go ahead and switch over to Bridget, and you guys have had enough of me now.
Here's Bridget.
Hi, everybody. I'm Bridget, and I'm going to show you a few of my favorite tools for sewing, quilting, embroidery. It covers it all. My first is the little mini Oliso iron. This thing is so amazing. I'm going to start with the cutest little trivet that it has. It stores just like this. You just tuck it in, and there's one corner, there's the other. So if this had like a nail on it, I could just hang it up and it will stay. The other thing I really like about it is if you take from the side that it was in and you flip it over, I can turn my iron on hot, as hot as it'll go, set it on there, and I don't have to worry about it, you know, trying to set it up right, even though it can set up right, but I just set it on there. All right, so I'm going to get a couple of things here.
That's what the light is, or the iron.
Okay, and it heats up very fast. It's not particularly a steam iron, but it does have a place here for a small amount of steam to give you a burst of it whenever, like, you really have some stubborn wrinkle or whatever. It's great to travel with, take to quilt clubs. So I have a half square triangle right here, and I am just learning how to do these, but I do know that they tell me I've got to set my seam, which I'm going to do. And this is I have this on high. Then I'm going to take it, and I just want to go to one side. So here I go. And the mat that's underneath is 100% wool. And what this does is it takes the iron, and you are ironing from both sides basically because it heats up so well. You can put it on any surface, and you have a nice flat seam on both sides. It's just really amazing. So
We have a question from Lisa Blaine.
okay.
She's asking, can the wool pad be used to iron on a vinyl table? And from what I understand with the irons, or the wool mat is you can, it's just the steam will go through it. So you don't want to use a steam iron it'll go through that wool mat, but if you have another protector, you can use your steam at that point.
It comes with cardboard on the back. At home, I just keep it on the cardboard. And that way it does it. I have put it everywhere, even on my Formica. No problem. Okay. So that was that. But I did forget a couple of things about the iron. It comes with a ceramic non-stick plate, and it heats evenly, beautifully hot, and it just, as you could see, I mean, it just glides over fabrics. It's just really awesome. The other thing that I like about it, this iron has an 8-foot cord. That is unusual. And it has as much power, 1,000 watts of power. Most irons, that's about what they have, a little more, a little less, but that's amazing. And your steam buttons are right here. I don't have any water in. I didn't bring any water today. So now I'm going to show you the other great thing about it is if I take my seams and I want to press them flat. I can't get it. Anybody else have this kind of a problem? Your fingers are kind of numb. There we go. Here I am. Okay. So I'm going to press it flat. I want to show you this little nose just goes through everything. I mean, it is just amazing. It just goes, and you have a nice flat seam again. I just, you know, how do you, I mean, it's beautiful. So those are the things. Oh, one more thing about this iron that's fantastic. 3-year warranty by Oliso. That's amazing. Who guarantees anything for 3 years anymore? So, and the information with that comes in the box. The other thing I want to tell you about the pressing mat is if it does get dirty or anything, you don't want to scrub it. Okay, you don't want to make it rough, but you can rinse it off in the shower and just hang it to dry. And that's all you can do. There isn't any, you shouldn't use soap or anything on it. Now I'm going to move on. I have a little square here, and I want to make half square triangles. So,
Do you know if the iron requires distilled water?
no, it takes any kind of water. I'm sorry, I should have said that. Yeah, no, it'll take tap water, and actually they recommend it. So that was a good question.
Yeah.
My next thing is, and I had my ruler, but I have no idea what I did with it. So I'm just going to borrow a little thing here on the side. All right. Okay. So I want to draw a line from here to here to make my half square triangle so I know where to sew. So I'm going to take my pen, and these are friction pens. And we do have them. We have a lot of them, all different colors. I got a black, a blue, and a pink here today. I probably should have chose the black, but I think I will. I think that's too light to really see. Thank you. And this also is really good for like quilting. If you have like a certain design you want to do, because you're going to sew right over it. And the best thing about it, we're going to pretend I did my sewing. Okay, can everybody see that? And now I'm going to take my iron, and I'm just going to iron it away. And it's on the back of my fabric. No one's ever going to know that I did that. The other thing it can do, which is really kind of cool, is I take this, and it's the heat that makes it go away. So I take my eraser.
The friction of that rubber end heats up that ink and makes it go away.
Yes, yes. And there it is. Can you see it? I can't find it.
Bridget, does the iron have an auto off setting?
No, that's another feature that I really like about it. It doesn't have an iron off setting because as you're quilting and you reach for it and you get a cold iron and you have to wait for it to heat up again, you do have to shut it off. And they say that if you have it on high, like I do right now, if it's going to be a while before you use it, set it down to the second 2 dots and just kind of let it stay. It'll heat back up very quickly. All right. Now, I want to show you something else that is, oh, I don't want to open that.
You can.
Oh, this is mine. So.
Okay.
Okay. This pen, I haven't played with it a lot, but oh, do I like it. Let's just say I wanted to put a little heart here, and I want to measure where it is. So I take the pen, and I'm going to say I want it down a little bit more. And I want to make sure it stays on this side and this side. So, okay, I know where I want my heart centered. I'm going to put it down. And I'm just going to set it aside for a minute because the ink needs to dry. So I'm going to do that, but I'm going to start with my next one. And this is a wonderful product. This is the Quilter's Free Fuse. It's made of polyester. And when you iron it on things, it's just amazing. It doesn't like leave those glue bumps. It's semi-permanent, and you can use it for so many things. And I'm going to show you a couple of them. All right,
I'm going to interrupt you for 2 seconds.
Sure.
Lisa wanted to know, will the ink come back if the fabric becomes cold?
Not with this.
No, but on the friction pen,
Yeah.
we have tested it. We've drawn on fabric, we ironed it off, we put it in the freezer. The lines do come back. So if you're in Wisconsin and it's freezing cold, the lines can come back if you're wearing your quilt outside. But if you draw your lines, iron it to make them go away, and wash your fabric, we find that it didn't come back. So if you wash it, that seems to remove it all to where it does not come back.
Thank you. All right, now I'm going to take this end of my pen, which has the eraser, And I'm just gonna,
Let me zoom in there.
okay, I'll go to the next one. Tell me, are you ready?
Yep, I need to go to zoom in and out class so I don't do it so fast.
Okay, I'm gonna just kind of do this. I'm just gonna take my little eraser, and it stays wet for a little bit, but don't worry about that. It's just gonna dry and you're not gonna see anything. And from the research that I did on this pen, there isn't any ghost lines. There isn't any of it coming back. You can iron it. And the other good thing about this pen is if I wanted to use it to draw my line here, my 1/4 inch line where to sew, if I iron it, it doesn't go away. So if you need to iron something, but you still need to get it to disappear, like I'll let that just kind of set for a moment and maybe it'll just do it here. All I have to do, and there it goes. Can you see that, Darren? Am I close enough? You can see the difference. There's this side, and then here's where I drew the pen. This is an amazing product. There's so many uses for it. And the purple cap goes on the purple side of the pen, and the white cap goes on the remover side of the pen. So there's that one. Now I'm going to go on back to Quilter Select. This is such an amazing product. And I'm going to start with applique. Actually, I'm going to move this kind of over here, move my iron back here. I have a piece of paper, and like I said, it's polyester. And what I'm going to do is...
Opened yet. I think this one is open.
Oh, you're right. Well, I can show you, since this one hasn't been opened, you get a bag like this, and you pour it into this container. And I'm going to show you a trick. A lady at my place, she quilts a lot, and she uses this. She has a hard time with her arthritis fingers pulling this out, especially if it gets down too far. So what she did is she switched it like this. She can grab inside and pull it out much easier. And the other thing is, she said when she's lightly salting it, it stays in here, all the extras. It doesn't come out. So you just put your top back on and it works very well. So I'm going to just set that over there. Here's mine, and I have my top that way. And I have mine poured in there. So now it takes so little. I am going to go on this piece of paper, and I'm going to take this heart. I'm going to sprinkle it on. And like I said, you don't need very much. And I'm going to take it. I don't want to get any on my mat, but here's my white. I'm going to lay it down. And then I'm going to center this heart where I want it. And I don't really like it there, so I'm going to turn it a little bit and go that way. Now you can use a high heat for this. And there's a little light here that will tell you when it's on, when it's done heating up, whatever temperature you put it at. So that's another bonus. And I'm just going to iron it. And it's about 4 seconds that you put this down. And that's about 4. And I'm going to get the bottom here. Okay. So now you've appliqued. It stays on. You can machine applique all the way around. And it's really, it's really amazing. The other thing I want to show you is, I said it was a semi-permanent bond. Look at this. You want to rearrange it? You go right ahead. It's okay to do that. So that's how this works. And boy, I've been reading about all the different things from quilting, sewing, applique, embroidery. I just learned about the embroidery one yesterday. I was watching a YouTube video, and the lady, she doesn't like her fabric to shift at all. So she sprinkled it on her batting, put her fabric down, and it stayed. It was really awesome. So that's that. My next one here.
They're showing, somebody asked, what are you sprinkling on? It's the Quilter Select Free Fuse. It's a powder that comes in a little shaker deal by Quilter Select. And we do have Quilter Select coming up, I think maybe tomorrow or the day after. So they'll be showing some of the new Quilter Select products.
Okay, my next project, I am going to pretend that this is a quilt. And I'm going to kind of put it all down. And maybe it's a doll quilt. That would be easier to remember. And I give it a quick little iron here, and you can see the wrinkles with this. It's on high. They're coming out. It's really nice. And I'm going to fold this back just a bit. This is like an 80-inch quilt. That's what we're pretending. Yes. So now I'm going to put this on there. Just lightly. You don't need very much at all. I even actually probably put a little bit too much on over on that side. And I'm going to put it right down here. And I'm going to iron it. Like I said, about 4 seconds. Okay, so now you've done that part of your quilt. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn this quilt around. And we're going to pull this back. And you see where it stops right here? It gives me a tug. That's where it's already done. So now, in order to finish my quilt a much easier way, I'm just going to do sections. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit. And I'm going to pull it down. And I'm going to keep doing this all the way down. And after...
You do like sections so you don't get wrinkles?
Yes,
Okay.
Sections, absolutely. You don't get any wrinkles underneath or bubbles, and you just keep going down. And then, once you're done with this side, you're going to put your backing on, okay? And you're going to set it on there. And you're going to start down here and do the same thing. You're going to take this back, sprinkle it, put it down, and iron it. That's...
Wow. That is way cool, Bridget.
Well, thank you. Is there anything I missed?
No, I think you did such a great job.
Thank you.
We have these wool mats in all different sizes.
They're really amazing. I love this one. I travel back and forth from Michigan to Arizona, and this has been super. And now that I have this iron, I can bring a little iron back and forth. And don't forget, this iron is amazing. You know, this trivet is amazing. This side you put it on when you're using it. This side you put it on when you're not using it.
So to recap on the wool mats on our website, if you click on that event tab, the wool mats are the Gypsy Quilter, felted wool pressing mats, and you would just select what size you're interested in. The Quilter Select product, the self-erase marker where one side kind of removed the ink, but the iron did not. So this one is one that you want to iron. It does stay. The friction pens are big camera. The friction pens, you would just type in friction or just scroll down in that events tab. The powder fuse is a Quilter Select product. It's called Quilter Select Free Fuse. I always call it powder fuse, but it's actually free fuse.
Free fuse, yes.
And the Oliso iron is on there. It is the mini project iron. Model number is M2 Pro. And Bridget was a little upset that she saw we now have purple. Because she says, I want the purple one.
So I think Darren's going to let me put this up for a prize. No, I'm teasing. I'm just teasing.
And so we are going to have the one and only Taylor coming up here in about 15 minutes, I believe, maybe 20 minutes. So as Jer was saying, we are going to end this live feed, and we will come back with a brand new live feed. So just keep an eye out for that. You may need to refresh your browser. Hit that little circle at the top of your, to the left of your address bar, just to refresh in case you need that, if you don't see the live feed. Is that it, Jer? Did I say that right?
I think so.
All right.
I think you'd be okay.
So
give us about 5 minutes, and you'll see the next stream pop back up, and it's gonna look exactly like this. It's just gonna say on the top, it'll say day 2, and then it'll say Anita Good Design. So
Thank you so
forward to
much,
that.
Bridget. That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Thank you, everybody. It was fun.
Alrighty, we'll see you guys in about 10, 15 minutes. All right. Thanks
Bye.
so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.